Welcome to the podcast. I'm Duncan McRae, and after nearly 30 years in the window cleaning industry, I'm sitting down with other window cleaners to discuss life in the game. We're not talking about some fluffy hack, some overnight success story. We're talking about real, honest, down-to-earth stories of people who know what it's like to be in the game, who know what it's like to go through the tough lessons of life. So sit back and enjoy this podcast, whether you're watching it on YouTube or through your favourite podcast platform. We hope it really benefits you in your window cleaning journey. So let's dive in. Well, welcome to the Window Pro podcast, and in today's episode, it's my privilege to talk to Byron Guest, who is a window cleaner in Perth, West Australia, also known for his keen desire on improving window cleaning tools. We'll talk about that a bit later. Welcome, Byron, to the podcast.
G'day, folks. Modman here, and welcome to Duncan's podcast.
Excellent. So, Byron, how did you get into window cleaning, and what do you like about it?
Well, it's a bit of a sad but happy tale, I guess, and I wouldn't be unlike many other guys out there. This was going back 15 years now. The 2008 crash saw me basically, without going bankrupt, lose everything in 2008. And like I said, I'm not unlike many other people in that time frame, that big crash that came through. And I sulked and I got into a little bit of depression. I'm so lucky and faith and happy that I didn't meet the black dog then and there, but I was close. You're a man and you're a provider, and all of a sudden the rug's just taken out from under your feet. So at that point, my wife luckily stayed working. She was full-time working still, so we still had some income. But I was looking for something right there and then. And as a 40-year-old, I was 40 then, as a 40-year-old, there's not a lot of options. I thought about going back to school. I've always wanted to be a primary school teacher.
Oh, wow.
Hence why I write children's books.
Okay.
But that's a drop in income from what I was doing, because I had my own business, a family business with my brothers. So we were doing well. We were property investing and we were share investing. Hence why I crashed by surprise. But to go back to school, it's 4-6 years of less minimum income, part-time income, or whatever it takes to do that. And by the time I come out of that, I'm halfway to 50.
That's right.
I really want to do that. And then there's other things you could. I looked at franchises. I looked at Jim's Mowings. I looked at Hire a Hubby, because I'm quite handy. But again, it was $20 grand to get in, plus ongoing payments. And I looked at all these things. And then I just decided to go out on my own, lawn mowing, garden handyman type business. And so I did that. I had an old trailer. I rebuilt that and bought a van, did these things. It got going and it was doing really well. And then, as I said, a lot of you guys would be the same. It's just coincidence, right? Being at one place at the right time and something just happens, right? Absolutely. So I was at the customer's place mowing their lawn, as I have done every second week. And she says to me, "Can you clean my windows today instead of mowing my lawns?" And I'd never cleaned a window in my life, right? That's the missus' job, or you get someone else to do it, right? I said, "Oh, look, yeah, I can, but I don't have any window cleaning tools," right? So she goes, "Oh, it's okay, I've got this." She pulls out that thing from the servo, double-sided servo thing, right? And a bucket and some dishwashing liquid. So I'll do that, not a problem. I did it. And I don't know what it looked like, I can't remember, but I went around and I cleaned the house, and she was absolutely wrapped. I can't remember how long it took. I just remember doing it, and she said to me, "It's absolutely wrapped." She paid me. I got back in my van, and I said to myself, "Are we allowed to swear on this podcast?"
If we can avoid it, would be good, just in case there's children listening.
Far out. I have not started a tool, started a machine. I've not used any petrol. I've not got sunburnt. I've not got dirty. The customer is absolutely wrapped. She hasn't complained that I've missed a weed, and she's paid me. And from that moment on, I investigated all things about window cleaning, stayed up till midnight on YouTube video after YouTube video, trying to research all these things. My favourite, and this is what I tell a lot of young guys too, find a couple of your favourite guys that you want to follow and watch. And this is going 15 years ago, right? So it wasn't as big as it is now, but there was a couple of guys. One was Wagger, Christopher Dorber. He's UK. He's retired now, but you can still look Google Wagger and find him. He was a ragtail guy. So that's where I love the ragtails. He was the original dog ear guy.
Oh, really?
That's where I got my love for dog ear, pole work and all sorts of stuff. He'd cut this and cut that and sew the pads together and do all sorts of stuff. And so I got my love for wagtails and modifying my tools from him. I also listened to a guy called Andy Engstrom.
Yes, I've seen him.
He was probably the first guy to start newsletters and stuff regarding window cleaning and try to get people to subscribe to a newsletter and get that going back then. There was a guy called Steve Wright. He was all about flyers and door hangers. And so I got slogans and so just piecing all these things together until finally I'm sort of happy with what I've got and I'm doing a job here and a job there. And eventually over time, maybe a couple of years, I was dropping gardening jobs off, either turning those into my window cleaning customer. Look, I can't do your gardens anymore, but do you want your windows? Or just dropping them all together and picking up new window cleaning customers. And pretty much happened from there. And that's how I sort of got into it.
So you said you're in your 50s. Why do you stay in the industry? What makes you optimistic about the industry?
Well, like I said before, if you've got two choices, you're going to go back to school, which is too old. I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
Well, not too old, but I haven't got enough time. By the time you come out of school, you're ready to retire. Or you've got to go and get a job at Bunnings or something. And if you get I don't mind going. Actually, I wouldn't mind working at Bunnings. However, it's retail, right? And you got to work till 9 o'clock at night. You got to work weekends. You got to work over Christmas. Having the window cleaning business, it allows you to have a certain amount of flexibility that you can't in a standard job.
Absolutely.
However, there's a catch-22 to that. It's double-bladed, right?
Yeah.
You don't get paid in your mind. But if you worked out a yearly income, that day off doesn't matter because it's all covered in your yearly income. If you think about it that way. But it gives me, like I said, I'm an artist at heart. I don't want to work. I'd rather paint. I'd rather draw. I write poems. I write songs. I write children's books. I drive my family nuts about all the stuff I do. I actually do too much. I've got my veggie patch. I garden. All the gardens are manicured, etc. In the shed, modifying. So it's all art. So window cleaning, because there's not much thinking to it, your head's, I can switch off.
My wife says to me, she said, you know what we were talking about the other day? Did you think about it while you're at work today? I went, no, I was cleaning windows.
Thinking about my next book.
I was just thinking about what happened to the football the other night. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the lovely thing about window cleaning.
While I was training my son now, literally this month, is taking over all the accounts, taking over my business, basically. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But when he's been with me since he was 14, so as soon as he could do holidays, and if he's not in between jobs even, so right on the squidgy, he's done a lot of stuff. He's tried a lot of stuff, but it's always been, I didn't like that. Okay, on the squidgy. He used to get his YouTube up on his phone and just not watch the movie, but because he's seen it or heard it 10 times, he just listens to the YouTube movies like Harry Potter and all that while he's working. That's the beauty of this business, you see. You don't have to. Now, I'm talking from my instance, like a one-man band, have been 15 years, until now that my son is seriously, now we're husband and wife, now we're a father and son team. But the reason why I like to stay in this industry because of that simplicity. And what I try and do off season is do a 4-day week.
Yeah.
My wife works full time. She's in the building industry, so she's an estimating manager in the building industry. So her head is literally she's got like 9 people under her and departments constantly, non-stop bombarding. So she gets home, she's got no energy, no headspace, cooks dinner, wants to sit on the couch, watch TV. Come Saturday, if she still has to do another whole day cleaning, she's only got Sunday to relax. So I have the ability in this window cleaning industry to take that Friday or Wednesday. That's the other thing. Like, it's raining on Friday, I'll go, all right. It's raining on Wednesday, I go, all right, I'm going to move my jobs to Friday and have Wednesday off, do the housework. You got that little bit of flexibility. Today, I've literally done bathrooms, at the front deck, mowed the lawn.
You're going to upset a few guys who watch this, Byron, because
Yeah.
what I do as well, set the standard and move on to the next topic, please, Byron. We don't want to hear about housework. But it's so important because if you want your spouse to support your business direction,
Correct.
it's not just about you, it's about the combined team effort.
Right. Yeah.
And I've been in the window cleaning for 29 years, and times where it's quiet and she's busy with her endeavors, you've got to just knuckle down and make your contribution. And that way, your approach to business will always be with an element of success attached, not only with business itself, but infringe on your personal life. So well done. Yeah. So your son's going to take over the business, the actual running of the accounts.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you're going to be able to focus a bit more on your modification of tools? I just want to share with everybody, is your YouTube channel, Modman Window Cleaning Workshop.
Yep.
And variety of different there. So what is it about that modification of tools that you really love? I couldn't think of anything worse after all these years to try and think of changing a tool.
I know. It does my head in. It really does my head in. And what does my head in is a combination of a couple of things. Is my desire to be artistic. And when you're artistic, your number one thing is to create.
Yeah.
So I'm creating something by being in the workshop and modifying. Secondly, it does my absolute head in. The tools now, a lot of them aren't fit for purpose, don't work as efficiently as they should in an industry that now has been like a year-long industry. You have a tool or like, let's just pick the BOAB. They don't marry up. You got my constant bugbear for 15 years has been rubber on the edge of the plastic, because most of them are plastic.
Yeah.
Lately, they've changed the fabric. Rubber, your squidgies just don't fit in the BOAB properly. They fall in, they fall out, they wobble, they hit the side of the BOAB, so they rub on the rubber. You go to the glass, you've got a line, you've got to throw your whole squidgie away. And it's constant, it happens again. It's constantly happening. This has to be a better way to do this. Started as Wagman, if you go back in time. That came across because of my love of Wagger in the initial.
Yeah.
So I got the Wag from him and Wagtails, because I love using Wagtails. And Tradman.
Oh, yeah, Peter, good mate of mine, Peter.
Oh, yes. I put them both together, Wagman. And I thought, oh, that's good. And I kind of a name, because you go, oh, you seen Byron stuff? Byron, who's Byron? But you go, you seen that Modman? Oh, Modman, yeah. Got that kind of name on it. You can just go, oh, yeah, I know that. I've seen that guy. It's more for efficiency and driving me nuts. Like a BOAB where it bangs on your leg all day, right? Plastic ones especially. They just bang on that little bone on your inside your knee.
That's right.
Constantly banging. And when you bend down, it gets caught in behind your leg, so you're constantly pulling it out. I made that kick-out clip.
Yes, I've seen you talked about that a lot, that little push-out kind of clip.
Yeah. Just holds the BOAB out of the way, so it's not banging on your leg. You've got that much room. So constant, forever, the BOABs have just been leaning against your leg. Even like Blue and Richard's early stuff had a concave in the back of the BOAB, so it's around your leg, but it still banged on it, and it still got caught.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. Some bent, started with plastic, obviously, bent plastic, but a simple thing like that can change your whole experience with your BOAB.
Yeah.
That's why this is talking about BOABs. This is actually the prototype for what is in progress very soon.
So that's a
new Richard BOAB. Yeah. Now you can see that's 40 millimeters wide.
That's pretty narrow.
That's, yeah, narrow, yeah. Will be one or two slightly different versions because the accelerator doesn't fit this one because they've got that big knob sticking out where you flick that thing up and down. So there will be a couple of different versions, but this one's perfect for wagtails because I'm a wagtail man, right? I believe if wagtail, don't get me, don't, I weren't, the owner of wagtail wasn't so against constructive criticism, wagtail would be the leaders in the window cleaning industry with BOABs. They'd be the leaders. Their tool is so good. About 20 years. It hasn't changed apart from the high flyer. So this one dropped down, but this originated from this. So this is what I've done, and I've done another one too, but Tom's got it in the U, and one even smaller than this. But this is basically two Attores glued together.
Oh, yeah.
Little fin at the front taken off that holds the squidgy. I think that's pointless. That real big time rubber sticking your squidgy in that little channel. A scraper put on the front. I've also got sections here for different things as I've done over the years, but don't use those now. They now go into the other pouch, what used to be here. But this side's got the slot for the wagtail disc to go in.
Yeah.
This side's got a square for the accelerator. It's a square. It's got a divider in the middle so it can't fall out.
So is the divider...
that one
I have a Samurai, and you can detach or attach a divider so you can make it, find taking it out is much better for me.
Yeah. One isn't because it's two Torres stuck together.
Yeah.
I have done ones in the past where I've put wagtail, grey wagtail clip for the pads. It's a perfect little U-shaped channel. Two of those, plastic in the middle. Also gone down the roads of the Z-Force plastic scraper blades water fed. I know there's plastic scraper blades out there at the moment already. But it's not water fed, so gone down roads like that. New stuff. I think a lot of you guys have seen the Reach Master. What this does takes out all the clamps that are involved in when you try and join things together. You've got these great big pole clamps, and they get stuck in trees, they get stuck in shade grills and stuff like that. So these hopefully eventually will come out on maybe one a little bit bigger. But then after this, you've got the big one.
So is that like a gooseneck, Byron?
Like a gooseneck, yeah. But
does it fit a variety of poles?
He will, yes, Reach it, make all their pole stems now to suit all the different. I think there's only the Oval 8 that they've yet to do.
Yes, I believe that too, yeah.
All the other ones this fits into. Didn't put the holes in the neck there for guys that like to use inner.
Yeah.
I prefer on the outside, but that's a personal choice. But that they try to accommodate things, but just go straight now onto the new handles. All of the Reach gear got these handles now, the new stuff, so you can have it in hand or talking about this brush. Actually, this is one of the new ones, not out yet, but I'm testing it. It's boar's hair boar's hair ultralight. If you have a lot of if the whole brush is boar's hair, it's very sticky.
Yeah,
it's the idea of that. Yes, to lay down on its edge and push, and it can be hard on the shoulders and arms.
Yeah,
with ultralight, you're taking half of that boar's hair out, but replacing it with a pad. This one's the whole. So you're getting double bubble. You're getting the boar's hair laying over and doing the scraping.
Yeah.
You're getting the inner pad, your choice, doing the scrubbing or the cutting or whatever you want to do with that. So that's something that's coming out. I've got one of my testers trying out the 18-inch version of this as well. I've got a few testers that guys that say, try this. And I've got extra of them, I can keep it, but if I've got to bring it back.
Yeah. I used to have the Tucker Alpha Hybrid, which was a combination of nylon and boar's hair.
Yeah.
And I've never had a brush that's longer than 10 inches. So you're at height and you've got this big brush, and the boar's hair, of course, as you say, can really drag.
Yeah.
So I keep it smaller. And that brush went well until, I sold it to a guy over your way. He wanted a second-hand Tucker, and we did a deal. So, so that, because like you use for water fed, you're obviously using like the ultralight from Reach It and things like that. Are you a believer in rinse over the top or rinse underneath?
Do you mean rinse? Do you mean jets when you say rinse underneath?
Yeah,
Or
brush.
yeah, I am definitely a rinse bar guy.
Yeah,
I obviously started with jets because my first reach it brush was about 2011 with that beta kit.
yeah,
And I'd done this one particular job for years now. Even back then, I was doing it. It's a big commercial place. And I would scrub and I'd rinse at least three times. And I'd still go in and see spots. And I just could not get my head around it. The reason for that is when your jets come through and hit the glass, they push water up. So you're getting push water, you're getting some spray, leaving the brush on the glass, then it's the bristles that are last on the glass, not the water. So the rinse over the top, rinse bar is always that last.
yeah,
And they are angled up, but they're not squirting. They sort of gently come out. So even if they do hit the glass, they push up minimal.
yeah.
Um,
Just started using since March when I went to the UK Expo,
yeah,
Warwickshire. I bought their called the Edge brush,
yeah.
and their jets, they have jets through but they are angled, so they come out.
Yeah,
And so you're not just having the water straight on the glass, it actually spreads and you can have multiples so that there's less pressure coming out of each one.
yeah,
I think people watching you and I talk about this and realize, talks a lot about Reach It. And of course, on your YouTube channel, you've got a lot there about the Reach It products. It's not about one particular brand. You've got this saying in Australia, it's horses for courses.
yeah.
So
Oh,
it's what tool will work for this job? What have I got that's going to make this job efficient? I'm going to make good money. I'll be out of here
yeah,
sooner rather than later. Is it a gardener brush? Is it a Reach It brush with a Hulk insert in it? What is it? What will work for this situation?
yeah,
And I think window cleaners tend to be so narrow
yeah,
in their approach that this is the only tool that works.
yeah,
So you mentioned already, Byron, and I subscribe wholeheartedly. Wagtail is such a great, but there are people who are still hung up on the brass Ettore,
yeah,
which I started with in 1996 and threw out about a year later when I discovered Wagtail.
yeah.
Still using that old style of squeegee. They won't change. And that's their choice. They can do that if they're still making money, but to be flexible about the tools we
Yeah,
use.
yeah.
I think your credit, the fact that you're prepared to modify tools to make it more efficient. So kudos to you, man.
I have clarify why I'm talking about Reach It now. Got the same bat, bat, badgering or battering when I started talking about Wagtail. People would say, "Oh, why don't you talk about any other thing?" I say, "Because I'm not using the Torres. I'm not modifying the Torres, so I can't talk about them and give them my honest opinion. I haven't used them for 10 years, so
Yeah.
I don't have the authority to say that.
Yeah.
But I use a wagtail every single day, so I know how it feels. I know how to modify them. Now it's the same with the Reach It gear. I'm not using Tucker. I have used Tucker, but I didn't like it. There's some reasons why. I started doing a video, but I thought, oh no, it was about 3 years ago. But oh no, I won't. The beauty about these and Wagtail as well, with the Wagtail Wave, is there's no um, tubes going in here. It's all centered. So
Yeah.
I can put this in behind a grill door, for example, in behind something this far. When
Yeah.
you have an edge, for example, I know the edges have theirs coming out here, to have them coming out here. You can only get it in that far because those fitting
Yeah.
hits, you
Mm.
can't get it in anywhere. A lot of them aren't adjustable like this. They don't
Yeah.
have this. They don't have all of Reach It stuff now have the apart from the G-force, which doesn't need it because it's got the angle here. It's like
Yeah.
a wave. It's like a wagtail. But every other one has this effect. And what that also does, I heard you talking about you've got a rocker.
Yeah.
Now, we use my rockers mostly for solar panels these days. So solar panels, you can be under the solar panel cleaning it, or you can be above the solar panel cleaning
Yeah.
it. And we always want water to be the last thing on the glass. So if you're under the solar panel and you're cleaning it, the water is above.
Yeah.
It's fine. The minute you go above the solar panel, the water now is in front of the brush.
Yeah.
You've got to lift the brush off.
Yeah.
If you try to turn that around when you're up there, the water is behind the brush, your pole is now over there.
Yeah.
So the beauty of having this is I can spin that all the way that way, and I can still be above the solar panel.
Yeah.
And this part, the water is the last thing on the glass. So things like that I thought about as the creators and the modifiers. I call it modifiers. I haven't invented anything. That's for guys like Willie, right? And I respect Willie and any of the other guys that invent stuff. I know, and Willie used to get cross at me all the time. You're cutting my stuff up. You're butchering it. You're tooling it. Look, I'm not. All you have to do is change 1% on that tool, just 1%, and it's better. But he refuses.
And I guess as he did win awards back in the early days for that.
And so he should, because it's a brilliant.
It's yes, he's got the people can say he's got the right to decide how his tools are used, but like use something a particular way. And it doesn't hurt to reach out to somebody and say, look, some ideas that I've had after all this time.
Yeah.
One of those challenges with equipment. You debate in the United States about this type of thing on forums as well, modifying and changing tools and prototypes, etc., etc. I don't think it will ever end, but it's fascinating.
Like you said before, everyone loves their tool. They use it their way.
Yeah.
They change. As a modifier, I'm always changing.
Yeah.
I'm trying different tools. People will bring tools to me, say, "Here, try this, try that," and I will. If I like it, I'll say, most of it I don't actually like, to be honest. But that's my opinion, and I'm just one guy in his home in little old Perth. I am just, and I'll say that all the time. And that's why I like to give praise to the other guys like Peter Thomas in Perth. He's brilliant. Craig Hub in Geelong. If I have any question about anything, window cleaning, not even window cleaning, other things as well, I will ask Peter Thomas or Craig Hardman. And this Eric, who actually takes the what do you call it? The credit for him and his other mates that I've met. I know it, but I don't know them.
Yeah, Eric's in New Zealand, isn't he?
Yeah, New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah.
He's still things and showing me and sending me, we can get the G-Force to work even better.
Yeah.
With stuff that is about. You got other, there's Trav in Queensland. He's on Facebook, he hates it. He cuts off of Facebook. I don't want their face on video.
No.
And I don't mind. And again, it's me creating something, doing it's that creative thing. So,
so
like Chris and Justin Kelly, who run the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
In Australia.
Yeah. Someone asked today what to do now that they're with regard to their window cleaning business, and Justin Kelly said he just put 2 words on as an answer: Duncan McRae. I thought,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay. So I find it. I haven't gone down your path with tools, but I like the experience we picked up. We can help other people. So that brings me to something that I asked everybody. If a new window cleaner saw you down the street and they said, "Hey, I'm Billy. I'm just wanting to get into the top 3 tips that Byron Guest, the Modman, would give them."
I probably got a dozen top tips. Number 1, it's really hard to just jump straight in, step straight into window cleaning, because it's a service business. You've got to build customers, you've got to build rapport. At the same time, you've still got to sustain yourself and income coming in. So if you have a partner that works full time, like I was talking before, that gives you stability to be able to go out and do your thing for a good couple. It'll take you 3 years before you can consider yourself full time, unless you buy something.
Yeah.
I believe it'll take you about 3 years before you're fully thingamajig. So if you've got a wife or a husband or a partner that can help support you, look after that person.
Yeah.
Big time, because they're making you happen. So that's number 1. Or get a part-time job. If you haven't got a partner, use a part-time job as your partner. Get a part-time job, Don't just try and jump straight in because you'll fail unless you buy something. A part-time job, do that way and slowly, like I did with my gardening round. I did that first and then I slowly moved over. I would start with civil tools.
Yeah.
Don't start with a Torre. You can always go back to an Torre because if you guys start with the Torres, they consider the swivel tool as a lesser tool. They'll only use it to get the high stuff and then they'll take it off and put a straight handle on and finish it. Don't know why. Always do that. Even the Mormon has been designed for top flip only, so I'm told. Right? I use it as a bottom one. I used to. I don't use it anymore. My son still likes it. So again, it's designed for top work. So you're in.
Yeah.
Just So start with the thing. People consider it difficult. So start with it. And then you can, if you've started with the hard tool and you've learnt that, you can do high stuff, low stuff, sideways stuff, pull fences. If you need to go to the solid handle, fixed handle, piece, very simple, right? But to go the other way, you've learned with the fixed, you go to the swivel and you'll go, oh no, I can't get used to it the other way. So many people do it. Learn to use a hole.
Yeah.
Early.
Yes.
Early. Because it keeps you off ladders. And once you've used the pole, I use the Trad 4. I call it a personal pole. Peter Erkin came up with that phrase and likes his own. So that's Peter Erkin's phrase, the personal pole, because it's short, stays within. You're not knocking someone over. It still stretches out when you need it to.
Yeah.
Because I see many guys on YouTube videos and they've got this great big pole. And he's hitting the ground as you're trying to do stuff. And I'm thinking, just get yourself a small pole.
Yeah.
And the bigger you can split down.
Yeah.
With two poles, like a Richard here, but a Warrior or a Mini or Elite, you can break down to your smaller ones. And then you have your little personal pole. That will get you, when you're going and doing shop fronts, you can grab a one pass and you can just start from the bottom and go right to the bottom, one sweep. You're not taking, my bugbear is people taking the tool off, the washer off the tool, putting it in, taking the squidgy on. It's a process that doesn't need to happen. You just stick to the swivel, top to bottom, done. The other I would suggest for newbies is include tracks in your quotes from day one.
Yeah,
I do not like people don't do tracks. It's like you don't brush them down. You just put the screen back on dirty. It's just so learn it and do it and include it. The other thing is a really important thing. A place for everything and everything in its place. When you've got your belt on, when you've got your van set up, the amount of tools you will lose or leave behind, leave on because you forgot to grab it. So in your van, set it up. So that's where your pole is. And if it's not there, you've left it somewhere. So that will ease your mind when you get to the next job. You're not looking for stuff. Do not have a pile of crap inside the back of your ute.
Yeah.
Rebooking. Be afraid to rebook. Once you've finished your job, either rebook them on the spot or ask them, would you like 3 monthly, 6 monthly, or 12 monthly courtesy call?
So what's your, on that thing, what are your thoughts on the dentist clothes, the jersey from WCR Nation spruiks?
That would be, would you like Tuesday or Thursday week?
Would you like it in 3 months' time or in 6 months' time?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I generally say 6 or 12. 3 monthly isn't common where we are in Perth. Yeah. Not from where I am anyway. Maybe down in the beach it is where there's a lot of salt. A lot of sand. That's pot there. They do 3 monthly outsides a lot, so they will include the 3 monthly in their pitch. But I always say, because I've only just turned to digital since my son has decided to go, right, bang. He goes, Dad, that diary is 100 years old.
Yeah.
I'm digital. But I'm halfway between still. I can't. I'm working at it. I'm trying.
Yeah.
My diary, I make my own diary because I don't dig my head in where you can only get a diary like 6 months in the next year, but you're booking 12 months and you want to write it down 12 months. So I make my own diary, and I can put as many pages in it as I want and write them through. But so I'll always put would you like a 6 monthly,
Yeah.
12 monthly? And I say courtesy call or courtesy text. You don't have to book in right now.
No.
If you write this little thing down, if they say, yeah, can you call me 6 months? And you guys out there that are starting, this is for you new guys. And a lot of this podcast that Duncan is putting up is for you new guys. You older guys know all this. You've got your techniques, you've got the systems. But this particular question, you new guys. So write this down. It's a I use all the time after they've said, yeah, can you call me 6 months or text me in 6 months? I will say, hello, Mrs. Smith. Friendly reminder that your 6 monthly window cleaning is due. I have programmed you in for Monday the 17th at 11 a.m. Please let me know if this works for you. So I've told them that it's your 6 monthly visit. I've told them that I've already booked them in. You to have to get back to me and let me know if Monday works or not. If it doesn't work, let's move it to Tuesday. If it does, they'll text back straight away. Yeah, works great, thanks. No, that doesn't work. Okay, well, let's make it. Or they don't want it at all.
Yeah.
But you're getting that response, right? You need that response. And if you don't be able to do that, don't be afraid to tell them you've booked it in. You're already booked in. Now you just got to let me know if it works. And it works extremely well. It actually works 90% of the time. I get.
Yeah, people appreciate it. Provides a picture that you're a professional, organised business that you're providing a service. So I think those tips have been quite enlightening. What about the point for somebody new? Different ones of go and work for someone in your opening time as a window cleaner. How do you feel about that?
I think that's. However, the person, another catch, do you want to work for this guy to be their employee? Or do you want to work for this guy and then in 3 months, 6 months, a year, leave and start your own thing? So that has to be the initial. You have to let them know in the initial, make that clear. If you're just getting trained up to go and do your own thing, that's a very nice fella that's going to do that for you. And I would suggest you probably want to be out of his area.
Yes.
Or you've got a really, really good relationship. You're not going to see white-handing. You've got to have good relationships. Another thing for newbies, create very good relationships with the guys around you, so that if you pressure washing, like niching, right? Window cleaning to me is a niche.
Yes.
Because I did the gardening, I've done the handyman. To have a handyman business, you've got to know a ton of stuff. You've got to have a ton of stuff. It just dives your head in. But window cleaning, once you've got your gear, you kind of just, I want this because I just got it right. You don't have to have it. If relationships, do the pressure washing, but your mate, he also does window cleaning. You have a good relationship with him. He's not going to white out you out for the window cleaning just because you've got the pressure washing. So that's another really important thing for you young guys. Don't be afraid to create relationships. Pick up the phone if you've got some good friends that will in the industry that are prepared to help you out. So, look, start if you can. David Baker's a big guy on going and working for somebody else. Yes. And I appreciate that. But like I said, you've got to know in advance, am I going to work for this guy to be his employee and help his business grow, maybe become one of his you drive one of his vehicles and have that section, or do I want to be a trainee and have him as a mentor?
There's enough content on YouTube and various forums and podcasts like this one where people can learn some of the business skills so that with practice, I just had someone show me and away I went. But these days there's so much content available. People can take those tips and run with them and be successful. So, that's been quite tough. So last question, you talked about technology. What's your son pivoting your business into?
I've gone from my diary, that's can't even understand it, to a customer zero for a long time. So zero is the accounting side of it, but the customer
relationship management,
that's a company called Mark8, Markate, Mark8. We've had it for maybe a month now, and And I'm still in the process of data entry. I've got to get, I mean, all your content is in this thing, you know, when you're, so I move out of there and into there, and half of these customers I don't even have surnames for. I just know who they are, and some of them I don't have a number. It'll just be Smith Street, and Tom will go, "Where's that?" "Oh, just go up, just around the bend, and it's on your left." He's going, "Dad, that's not good. We can't be doing that." So there's all that changeover, but I'm old school. It's worked for me, but now it's time to move on, and I really appreciate Tom. He's 26 now, and he's done his over 10 years apprenticeship with me over the years.
Yeah.
He's really into, and it keeps him interested. If he's just working for me,
and the right technology can help. So that's really interesting. I haven't heard too many people use Mark 8 in Australia. I know they're popular overseas, but it will be interesting. So, Byron, we really appreciate the time you spent today on a Friday afternoon chatting about the industry. And you bring a lot to the various forums. You or I, neither of us are always everyone's cup of tea, but that doesn't matter. And it's fascinating to see why you're modifying, the fact that you've got this creative streak in you, that you've got to, feed that creativity.
Yeah.
Well done. It's a difference to a lot of other people. And you can know that it's kept a lot of people interested in the game just because of the contribution you made. So thank you very much for joining us on the podcast, and I wish your next level of business journey all the best, mate.
My pleasure, and thank you for putting the podcast up.
Thank you everyone for watching and listening to the Window Pro podcast. If you've been enjoying it and you'd love to support the work that goes into bringing it to you, consider becoming a paid subscriber on Substack. It's just a simple way to show your support. If you like to do that, in advance I'll say thank you. I really appreciate it. You can find the link in the show notes below, and I would be very grateful for your continued support on this podcast, which is getting some wonderful feedback from around the country and overseas. So thank you so much.